What up, bro? Welcome to another episode of BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau, and like always on all podcast platforms that work. BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms: Instagram, Threads, BrandonJaneau, Facebook, The BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, TikTok, BrandonJaneauShow. Go follow me on all of those social media platforms. I truly appreciate it if you do. Truly appreciate it if you do. Really, where you would go is the YouTube channel, man. Brandon Janeau Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, like the vids, like the shorts. It helps in the algorithms. Definitely, man. Shout out to everybody that's been liking the vids, watching the vids. Just hit the like button, man. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Tonight it is wrestling life, and like always, like I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Um, my '90s uh top 10 list. Tonight, I go to one particular company and I stay there and I talk about my top 10 in that one particular company. Because tonight, nothing was better in the Monday Night Wars than Monday Night Raw and Nitro. So tonight, it is just WCW. My WCW top 10 wrestlers. Like always, I go from 10 to 1. If you haven't seen this show, my 10 list, I go to 10 to 1. Explain why each wrestler is on my list. Another thing, if you do not like this top 10 list that I'm about to put out tonight, I need you to understand something. I do not give a fuck. And you can make your own fucking list. It's very simple. It's very simple. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write the fuck down. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Anyway, let's start this list off. At number 10, coming in at number 10 for WCW, for me, there was nobody better. The Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is at my number 10 spot. One of the founders of the NWO, uh, part of the Outsiders with Scott Hall. Kevin Nash in the 90s was the shit. He was, man. He was, man. I know a lot of people sit there and say, well, what about Hulk Hogan? What about Scott Hall? Kevin Nash was the coolest one. Oh, okay. I won't say that. Scott Hall is pretty fucking cool. But Kevin Nash, to me, I don't know, maybe it was because of his rivalry with Rey Mysterio later on in WCW, how he was when it came to the NWO, even the Wolfpack, when he joined the Wolfpack. Oh my God, I was a huge Kevin Nash fan. When he started the Wolfpack with Sting and Kodan and Lex Luger and Macho Man, man, I was a huge Wolfpack fan. So maybe that's why I got Kevin Nash on my list. But at number 10 is Kevin Nash starting out this list. At number 9, it is Raven. Yeah, he used to do this before Chris Jericho. Just want to point that out. Raven is at number 9 on my list. I was a huge Raven fan. I was a part of the flock. I don't give a fuck. I was part of the flock. I said this last week. I'll say it again this week. There was no better rivalry when I was a kid over a mid card title than DDP and Raven. Over the U.S. Championship, no better rivalry than DDP versus Raven. Raven is one of my favorite WCW characters of all time. Now I know technically he was more ECW, but to me, late mid to late '90s, it was Raven, and it's not even close. So Raven is on my list at number 9. At number 8, speaking of the flock, Billy Kidman. Yep, Billy Kidman is at number 8 on my list. A cruiserweight goat. God damn it. There was nobody cooler than Billy Kidman. The white beater with the jean shorts. He was rocking jean shorts before the jorts before John Cena. Um with the fucking you know skater, knee pads and shit. I don't know why. I fuck with Billy Kidman. And then when he did the shooting star press, oh my god, I was mad. I was a huge Billy Kidman fan, massive Billy Kidman fan. I fuck with Billy Kidman. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Still to this day, he's still one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Always one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Billy Kidman, fucking goat. Fuck what you talking about. Fuck what you. Shout out to La Park, Psychosis, Vuvatul Guerrero. I was about to put Vuvatul on his motherfucking list, but I kept him on the list. But Billy Kidman is on his list. But Vuvatul Guerrero, my fucking goat. Speaking of cruiserweights, at number 7, who else is more of a cruiserweight than this man? And that is Rey Mysterio. I should say Junior, but it's Rey Mysterio, man. Still to this day, Rey Mysterio is still one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. One of the greatest luchadors of all time, no matter what his son says. Ray in the 90s? WCW, right? When he started to have when him and Conan and I forgot who else was in that fucking group. But they had like a group, Conan and Ray was in a group together. Oh my god. I forgot who else was in that fucking group of dudes. One of my favorite groups. They were kind of like LAX before LAX. I don't know if they were the LWO by that time because LWO was a completely different fucking group. They might have taken over the LWO by that time. I don't even fucking know. But when they first started to put Ray in storylines like Kevin Nash and NWO and shit like that, and he had to remove his mask and shit like that. Even then, he was an underdog and he was a superstar and he was the guy. But that rivalries with Kevin Nash at the end of WCW and shit like that, that's what made me even more a fan of Rey Mysterio. Not even like a really big fan of Rey Mysterio. And number 6, if you're gonna talk about Ray, it feels like you have to talk about this next man too, and that is Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is at number 6 on my list. Now, at the end of the 90s, he was already in WWE. He's in WWE with the Radicals, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn. But that WCW run he had, fucking fantastic. That sold out ladder match with him and X-Pac in WWE, still one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. Like him and Ray, we already know about that cruiserweight championship match. That was just fucking crazy. We had never seen no shit like that. Eddie was that fucking dude. He was the fucking dude, man. And I kind of feel like the WCW Eddie kind of broke into what WWE's Eddie became at one point. But WCW Eddie was fucking good, bro. And as before all of his injuries, and I think he had like a car accident and drug addiction and all that. Like, yeah, Eddie around that time was different, fucking different, dude. If I go into my top 10, top five, I should say. I gotta recap it. At number 10, Kevin Nash. Number 9, Raven. Number 8, Billy Kidman. Number 7, Rey Mysterio. And number 6, Eddie Guerrero. Number 5, it is the five-time WCW champion Booker T. Now he won most of those five-time titles in the 2000s, but in the 90s, Harlem Heat Booker T, television champion Booker T, U.S. champion Booker T was the fucking man. Don't get it twisted, motherfucker. He was the fucking man. Booker T was one of my favorite wrestlers in WCW when I was a kid. Like one of my favorite wrestlers. I told you last week, if you listened to the episode last week, how much I loved the Harlem Heat with him and his brother Stevie Ray. Well, Booker T was one of my favorite wrestlers throughout the fucking 90s. He was just different. You ain't never seen somebody that was like, what, damn, they're like 6 feet, some inches, and fucking kind of using karate, kind of like, he was like, yo, he's like using karate. Like, it was just so dope to watch a guy like him at that time in my life, being a black kid in the South, knowing he came from Houston. Like, bro, that shit was crazy. Like, so yeah, Booker T was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Still is to this day. Booker T is still one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. You thought NXT, you think NXT Booker T is crazy. So yeah. And number 4, who else but Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho last week was on my list. This week he's on my list. Not a lot of people sit there and say, well, he was more WWE. Yeah, kind of. Came in, what, 98, 99, I think, in WWE. But I remember Chris Jericho in the Jerichoholics, WCW. And what he would do with Damon Malenko, the man had a list of all the holds. The Damon Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. This man literally had a list of shit. And went on TV and just kept reciting the same shit. That's Chris Jericho. WCW Chris Jericho is the most creative Chris Jericho. Because he had free range to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. This man called out Goldberg to have a match with him, and Goldberg just did not want to have a match with him. Created a fucking storyline out of thin fucking air. And had a like Chris Jericho was that fucking dude. Started off in the cruiserweight division, won the US title, won the TV title, all of this shit. Chris Jericho's one of the best to ever do it, man. So yeah. Number 3. It's Goldberg, obviously. Goldberg's 3 on my list. Last week I heard a lot of people getting mad. A couple weeks ago when I posted my top 10 90s wrestlers list. Why Bret Hart not on this list? Why? Goldberg was a fucking game changer. Anybody that doesn't understand that, you will never understand that because you didn't grow up in the time period that we grew up in when Goldberg became that fucking dude. Goldberg at 3 on my list. There is a reason for that. When this man first debuted and came out and started moving and doing what he was doing, there was nothing that I ain't never seen no shit like that. And when he speared you, you felt that shit. Like jackhammer over. It was like, holy shit. Goldberg was different, man. Dude was fucking different. And number 2. Number 2. DDP. Diamond Dallas Page. I told y'all last week how big of a fan I was of Diamond Dallas Page. It has not changed. Diamond Dallas Page in WCW was the shit. Boom! The diamond cutter. Oh, man. I still to this day do not fully forgive Hulk Hogan for never really giving this man a proper push and letting him beat him for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like when he got over with the people, there was nobody bigger than Diamond Dallas Page. Like, oh my God, you had to be there. You had to physically fucking be there when Diamond Dallas Page became that guy. But at number 1, supposed to be number fucking 1. Sting is that number goddamn 1. Sting, the icon, the immortal, the legend, the WCW franchise. Sting. There is nobody greater when it comes to WCW than Sting. He was their Undertaker. He was. How many times I gotta say this? Like, bro, when he didn't say shit for a year and a half, and it all led to Starrcade '97, bro, that was like one of the greatest moments in wrestling history at that time. Like, you felt the energy. You knew what was about to happen. Sting to this day is still one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. When I was a child, there was nobody bigger than Sting in WCW. No one. So yeah. Recap the list. And number 1, Sting. Number 2, Diamond Dallas Page. Number 3, Goldberg. Number 4, Chris Jericho. Number 5, Booker T. Number 6, Eddie Guerrero. Number 7, Rey Mysterio. Number 8, Billy Kidman. Number 9, Raven. And then number 10, Kevin Nash. That is it. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy this. We're back next week with another top 10 list. How ironic, because Monday Night Raw is in Philly tonight, and NXT is in Philly tomorrow. But that's it. That's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.